Patrice and Associates?
So myself and my business partner Frank decided to join Patrice and Associates because out of a number of different franchise concepts that we looked at, we really felt like Patrice and Associates gave us the best opportunity to really make an impact on people's lives. We've spent the majority of our careers in people-facing roles and really have a high desire to make a difference in people's lives. And the opportunity to work with these candidates and help them locate the next step in their career where they're not just going to be happy for a couple of months, but really have a place where they can grow and develop themselves and really love what they're doing. Really was what set Patrice and Associates apart for us. So what I think differentiates what we do here at Patrice and Associates from other staffing agencies that exist is really that we very much so focus on finding the right fit between people and the clients that we work with versus a lot of very mass market kind of throw things against a wall until it sticks type attitude that a lot of other recruiters out there have. I've personally worked with recruiters previously in my career and didn't feel valued. Felt like it was really, if I got lucky, I'd find a job I'd be interested in, and that's what we do differently. We sit down, we talk to our candidates for extended periods of time, we understand what their needs and desires are, and we have a very good understanding of what our clients want as well, and we use that information to make good, long-lasting pairings versus just drops in a bucket here and there to kind of make ends meet. And that allows us to make a little bit more money and charge a little bit more for our services because we are a premium service. But in the end, it's just really a valuable relationship for all parties involved. So with Patrice and Associates, as far as training goes, when we were onboarded, we actually spent 2 weeks in Maryland at a hotel very close to our corporate office, going through a very in-depth training process. Candidly, both myself and my co-owner had no experience with recruiting previously and didn't really have much experience doing outbound calls in terms of sales or client outreach previously. And over that 2 weeks of time, not only did we get more familiar with the restaurant industry in a way that we didn't really know before, but we also figured out what the base skills were going to be required in order to make those outbound calls confidently and really be able to pitch our companies and speak with candidates in a confident manner to make sure they are interested in the roles that we have available to them. So that training process was fantastic, 2 weeks long, left it feeling confident and very motivated, but it didn't end there. From there, we had basically an advisor who worked with us for a period of about 90 days afterwards. We had weekly calls with that person. They put jobs in front of us that were going to be great for us to work with, gave us detailed feedback on the candidates that we were working with and why they were or were not good fits, where what we were doing well, what we weren't doing well, and really helped us through some of the slumps and the obstacles that new business owners own or have because they've been through it, they know what they're doing. And it really was a very robust process in terms of getting our feet off the ground. From there, the training doesn't really end. Patrice does a lot of very, very helpful, basically weekly calls that are optional to join and are recorded for easy access in the future. And on top of that, through a lot of the vendors that we work with, there are in-depth training programs that are conducted that we can sign up for free of charge, and just really a ton of information, constant training and education available for anyone as part of the franchise. So the keys to being successful in Patrice and Associates, really, it's not any different than most other jobs that you have, and that comes down to persistence. Being that it is a people-facing industry, you are going to spend all of your time working with people. And because it's, trying to match personalities and experience and people's thoughts and feelings versus selling a paperboard box to a company, there's a lot more that goes into that. And there are times when you're going to get frustrated. You're going to have people who, don't want to talk with you. You're going to have clients that are frustrated for, a number of reasons. And there'll be days when you'll make, 20 phone calls and not reach a single person who wants to give you the time of day. That said, the persistence really is necessary because it is worth it. You have that one bad day and then you come in the next day, you make a phone call and your first person is this incredible manager who's been in the industry for 5 years and you caught them, at the perfect time. They are not in a good situation. They need help. They don't know how to get it, or they need a leg up in terms of finding their next step and they don't really know where to go. and we can then work with them to find that role and really change people's lives for the better. But that persistence is really the biggest thing. You can't get down by dejection. You need to roll with the punches and understand that, we offer valuable service at the end of the day. And just because that first person you spoke with didn't want to talk with you, doesn't mean the next 10 people you speak with aren't going to want to. So if I were going to give any advice to a new franchisee starting with Patrice and Associates, my biggest advice I can give them is really just to follow the system. It exists for a reason. It has driven Patrice's success in the past, and you will get hires using the system. A lot of them, in fact. It might not be exactly the way you think the business should be run, but the reason you bought a franchise is because you wanted a system that works and is established, and by using it, you will, get a great base. It will help you get a good understanding for how the business works, and it's a unique business. You probably don't know how it works to begin with. And at the end of the day, it's really going to give you the foundation for success you need, and then can build off of as you grow your business in the future. So in terms of success stories, I've got a very recent one that comes to mind. I'm working with a newer client of ours out in California, and I was working with a candidate who had been working with a newer company for just a couple of months. He had moved for medical reasons from his previous job and just was looking to get a step back into the industry. So the position he was in, he really wasn't happy with. There were promises made that were not being kept. And at the end of the day, he was looking for a different opportunity. And going into the relationship, he made it clear to me that he'd worked with recruiters before and had not been impressed. So through the entire process, I stayed in touch with this candidate. I, helped him rewrite his resume. I gave him all the information I possibly could about the restaurant that he was interviewing with. I made sure he visited the concept and, had a good understanding of how they work and what they're looking for, so that when he went in for his interviews, he knew exactly what what they needed to hear from him in order to make it a good pairing. And I helped coach him up on just really basic things in terms of being successful in your interviews. And the little stuff as well, following up with the individual just to make sure, hey, how you doing? Did you like the interview? Good luck today, the basic stuff. All this, came together at the end. He just recently got an offer and has started about 2 weeks ago. And we do testimonials as part of our standard follow-up process for anybody who we get hired successfully. And he wrote a great testimonial to me. And in that testimonial, he really helped me better understand why what I do is valuable. He called out specifically, I've worked with recruiters before and I felt like just a cog or, a piece of money to that individual. But Ian texted me before all of his interviews, or all of my interviews. He texted me after my interviews, and he wished me good luck on my first day of work. My family didn't do that. And he really has been a game changer and a lifesaver for me. And that was just a very powerful experience and really helped me feel very good about what I was doing.